In 2013, war broke out in the world's newest nation, South Sudan. Today, only 5 years after achieving its independence, the country has little to celebrate. Violence has uprooted 2.3 million people from their homes. Intense fighting in conflict zones in Unity State this year cut off entire communities from humanitarian assistance, displacing families and leaving people without adequate access to food and safe water. Over the past year, another dimension of the emergency has also emerged. In parts of the country not directly affected by the conflict, communities are now facing an alarming, widespread food crisis.
Good malnutrition.
2.8 million people urgently require food assistance in order to survive. That's a quarter of the country's population. An estimated 5.8 million, about half of the population, have no idea where their next meal is coming from. And new data will be released soon, indicating that even greater numbers of people are experiencing severe hunger, especially in the state of northern Barghazal. Failed rains, failed crops, a struggling economy, and the absence of infrastructure for health centers, schools, and jobs are making life desperate. At the start of the lean season in April this year, people had minimal food stocks to sustain them until the next harvest, and the rainy season will begin in late summer, putting families under great strain. The humanitarian community in South Sudan is racing against time to deliver emergency food assistance to vulnerable communities before the rains, before roads become impassable and it becomes extremely difficult to reach people in need.
Now households have reached a breaking point. They can no longer raise the money, especially these very poor households are not able to raise the money to buy the food. And the food has become very expensive. In our analysis, we are seeing that in some cases, food prices for cereals have actually tripled in a period of 1 year. And that just makes it impossible for poor households to afford the food from the markets. And that's why they are resorting on harvesting some tree leaves, even when they traditionally do not consume them, just to survive. And that's one of the reasons why now we are seeing an emergency situation developing, because these conditions have gone on for too long in these areas.
In northern Barghazal, mothers like Agawa Lakech are fighting a losing battle to feed their families.
The crisis keeps getting worse and worse. We were already extremely poor, but now the war has left us with nothing. My husband has left, looking for work. I've been feeding my children leaves picked from trees, because there is nothing else. I'm trying to sell wood, but too many women are selling, and no one is buying. We haven't had money to buy proper food for days. Most of the crops we planted last year failed. The food from our harvest is gone. That is why my baby daughter is sick from malnutrition. I brought her to an Action Against Hunger treatment program, and she is slowly getting better. But still, I desperately need food for my whole family. I'm doing whatever I can, trying to sell the wood, helping my neighbour repair her hut. But no one has income to pay. My neighbour has been generous in sharing food, but now she has run out, and I'm sharing our leaves with her. Every day is harder and harder, and I'm afraid for my family.